Hi, my name is Prashanth. People call me PVK. I am essentially the head of market strategy and thought leadership at Zoho for the entire customer experience product group, which includes all of our offerings across sales, service, and marketing. I've been with Zoho for about 10 years. And before this, I led the worldwide product marketing organization for the customer service and contact center categories at Zoho. And today I'm going to be talking about Zoho's upcoming launch, which is the unified marketing platform called Marketing Plus. The platform brings in capabilities across omni-channel orchestration, creates visibility within the team, helps with collaboration, and also helps the entire team understand the performance of marketing and connect it with other functions like revenue and success. The platform will be available.
PVK, great to have you. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, this is Dilip. I'm working with Zoho for the past 20 years. And I started off as a developer and then moved into the product management. Now I'm heading the product management team of the entire Zoho CRM. And also, off late, I'm taking care of the CX suite of platforms in terms of the product management as well. And happy to have the discussion with you today.
Dilip, thank you again for joining, both of you, all the way from Chennai. So I'm looking forward to some hot stuff here.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I hope we don't disappoint you. Absolutely, we'll try it. Okay, so today we're happy to take you through our latest launch, which is the unified marketing platform for the entire marketing team. It should be available on 10th of May and onwards. I'll start off by going over some of the problem statements and then the highlights of the solution itself. And then I'll hand it over to my colleague Dilip, who will go over a live demo of the product experience. So as with all of our work, I'd like to call out by going back to the customer experience platform vision for Zoho, which is to simplify the experience economy for every stakeholder in the customer journey. It essentially serves as the North Star for all of our teams and guides us through our work, helping us define the problem statements, define the solutions, the release candidates, and so on and so forth, including this particular release as well. With the marketing platform itself, we started out with 3 broad goals. The first was to simplify the work of the marketing team itself. The second was to connect it more tightly with other GTM functions like sales and success, since marketing today contributes to every part of the customer journey already. Right? And the third is to sort of systematically help the marketing team increase their impact on every stage of the customer journey. And everything we talk about in today's session will connect directly or indirectly with one or more of these simple goals. Before we get into the problem statements and other details, I wanted to also just call out our ideal customer profile. Now we're targeting mid-sized companies, even though the platform has already been serving the needs of Zoho Corporation itself, which is a 13,000 plus employee company. The platform can essentially serve larger customers than this, but we're focusing on a segment that we believe is ripe for disruption. And that essentially translates into companies with up to 200 people on their marketing team, with a structure that cuts across various aspects of marketing, like brand or product or enablement or operations and so on. Right? And it's often led by an experienced CMO or a VP of marketing. The platform itself can serve both B2B and B2C companies really well. And it can be customized to suit the needs of any specific organization as well. And I will explain more about that a little bit later.
Okay, yeah, if you can distinguish between B2C and B2B a little as you talk, that'd be nice.
Sure. That works. So with that understanding, I wanted to also just jump into what we're observing as the common problems that CMOs within our segment of focus are already tackling regularly. And to put it simply, these problems are about creating visibility across the various projects and initiatives within the marketing team, but also involving other teams. And then managing smooth collaboration experience with various stakeholders, again, both within marketing as well as outside of marketing, and even with ecosystem partners and so on. The third is around creating and maintaining a shared understanding of the customer base. And the final one is helping accelerate the revenue organization itself. And these 4 deep challenges also come together to form the larger overall challenge for the CMO and the marketing team, which is around essentially balancing impact and resources at scale. And given that most mid-market organizations are also growth organizations, this becomes a scaling sort of challenge as well along the way. And of course, there are
in the accelerating the revenue, or is that to do with lead generation, tangible results? Is that what?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pipeline progress and things like that. Yeah. So of course there are other challenges as well for facing marketers, but we wanted to sort of first address the most fundamental existential challenges that are faced by most marketing teams, if not all of them, around the world, regardless of their specific industry or things like that. So if you look at the problems themselves, you'll see a common thread. The shared understanding of the customer affects the various activities the marketing team works on. And then the visibility across each of these activities affects the quality of the collaboration amongst various stakeholders, which in turn impacts revenue acceleration and growth. And clearly, these challenges are all unified and linked tightly to one another. And so far, we believe that the solutions are not unified in the same vein. And that's the crying sort of situation that we wanted to address first with the marketing platform. So let's look at the challenge of visibility first and see how the platform helps address that. If you dig into a marketing team, you'll start to see some manifestation of pillars like this. In some teams, there may be more pillars, and smaller teams will have fewer. And underlying responsibilities within each of these pillars may also be organized differently. But either way, you'll start to see that you can easily imagine that there are individual marketers who hold dedicated responsibilities within each of these pillars, and then there's often a ton of activity that's going on in parallel at any point in time. And many of these activities, if you notice, are owned by individuals, but are collaboratively executed working with stakeholders within marketing and outside of marketing. And the idea is that most marketing teams tend to use a variety of tools in their daily work. And as a result, having clear visibility into the entire pipeline of work across all of the projects is pretty rare and getting more and more tricky on a day-to-day basis. Right? And it may well be true in this case that about 80% of the team has visibility over only about 20% of the work that's most adjacent to them or closest to their area of focus.
Prashanth, would you say this is true of all industries, or is it this particular slide, would it apply particularly to high tech or CPG, or what? Is it common across all industries?
This is actually common across various industries up to a certain point, but high tech being, high tech companies being early adopters of most technology platforms, this is actually compounded within high tech way more than it is with other industries.
Okay.
And so in reality, if you look at it, these pillars are not necessarily, independent islands. The progress that's made by people within each of these pillars often informs the priority of other pillars within the team, as well as other teams altogether, like ecosystem teams or sales or success. So getting clear visibility into all of the activities is critical to the success of the team. And it's one of the most underrated responsibilities of a CMO, and yet every CMO will agree that it's critical to the success of their in their role. Right? Now, if each of the marketers at each of these pillars has their own set of tools and has their own work pipeline cut out for them, then it becomes really tricky for leaders and line managers to see all of the progress that's made by everybody. That's the first challenge about visibility. I'll give you some examples of how the platform addresses this challenge. So the first one is about a shared view of the various projects across the entire team. And if you notice, this isn't a rudimentary list of projects, but rather a calendar of deadlines and events, a full summary of schedules, all of the underlying tasks across their various stages of completion, as well as a history of work that has already been put into the campaign or the project. Right? And practically speaking, this view alone serves as a great source of truth, both for line managers as well as senior leaders, to be more hands-on with the team and help them and coach them and curate the team's effort towards higher impact on downstream functions like sales and business development and customer success.
Couldn't they use a generic project management or program management tool for this?
So the challenge with doing that is, you're essentially adding more tools to the mix, whereas on this, the work actually happens on this platform. True. And employees have to go outside of the platform to update the work, and
right.
With scale that sort of gets more complicated. That's the point. So that's the first sort of example with respect to visibility. And then there's also the shared view of all the assets and documentation, ideas, standard operating procedures, and things like that, as well as finalized internal material to support frontline teams across sales or field or success, and things like that. Right? This particular document management capability, as well as the search capability, ensure that marketers can always find what they need instantly, but it doesn't really stop there alone. Right? Sales and other adjacent team members can also use this shared space to locate anything that they need. And if the sales and service teams are using Zoho's customer experience platform already, then all of these assets are available. The entire document management capability is available within their respective interfaces, and they don't even need to get into the marketing platform to get access to all of these assets.
Definitely high tech, I find when I ask vendors for use cases or case studies, they really struggle. It's very fragmented. You should probably put on top the artifacts. Videos are growing tremendously. So,
indeed, absolutely. That's true as well. We are essentially trying to do this as contextually as possible within the case of real use cases. Right? So then frontline teams, of course, have access to all of these regularly, and then if they need something new that they don't already see on the platform, then they can simply ask marketers or the marketing team to create and add it to the specific folder. And because of the way it's organized, new members do not have to be given access to all of the old files. And when somebody leaves the organization, they don't really need to transfer their ownership to 200 other people and things like that. It makes continuity a lot easier, both within marketing and particularly in a growing organization with a number of customer experience teams. It makes it easier across all customer-facing teams as well. And then, of course, the platform offers a shared view of performance for the marketing team. And this makes it easy for individual marketers to see what's working and what's not working in every specific campaign or project, and then apply that learning more broadly across various initiatives within the team as well. And by connecting this with the data from sales and marketing and sales and service, the marketing platform also helps every marketer see the downstream impact of their work. And I will talk more about that a few more slides down. So that's about visibility across marketing team. Now it's about collaboration. Right? If you consider a project like the launch of a new product, the various pillars of marketing have to work with each other for sure, but they also have to work closely with other teams like product teams or GTM teams, ecosystem partners, or even regional teams as well. Right? And as the organization grows, the number of stakeholders in every project only tends to increase. And therefore, this makes collaboration only more and more challenging. And in reality, every collaborator tends to use the tools that make their own work more effective. And therefore, multiple parallel universes tend to exist. And when it's time to coordinate towards a deadline or a specific deliverable, there's more than just friction. A bunch of things fall through the cracks, and there's plenty of miscommunication and going back and forth. And there's a lot of context loss and things like that. And all of that together can impede the work of the team itself and can drastically reduce the impact that marketing has on other parts of the organization. So that's the second challenge, collaboration. So I'll give you more examples on how the platform helps with collaboration. The first is around creative collaboration. So the platform offers a set of productivity tools to drive the creative process of campaign artifacts and other documents all the way from ideation stages to the final draft stages. And as the case may be, individual marketers can also solicit feedbacks from specific colleagues or from other adjacent teams, and even submit their content to a common editorial review process of some sort. From everything from concurrent editing to versions and to synchronized or asynchronous comments, the platform keeps everything in a single place, so nothing falls through the cracks, and collaboration with stakeholders becomes a breeze and people don't miss messages here or there. After creative collaboration, this is another kind of collaboration around workflows. Right? The marketing team is able to see the pipeline status of leads from each campaign and then monitor the same for the duration of the campaign itself. And this helps them see the downstream impact of the work they do, and then course correct their activities to gear for more impact down the line, right? And then likewise within the sales team as well, as you can see in the screenshot on the screen, this is Salesforce, right? And the sales team is able to see marketing data like campaign or referrer or medium, and then they're also able to essentially write automation rules to route leads to specific salespeople based on a specific campaign, or qualify them a certain way based on a number of criteria, or so on and so forth. On the other side, this screen shows how a marketer is able to engage a customer on social media. And then when they realize that the customer needs more personalized attention, they're able to create a service ticket from right there so that the service team can then jump in and help that customer. Most companies that we meet get the handoff between marketing and sales, right? But many companies struggle to create that same level of continuity between marketing and service. And we're happy to sort of help them get there through integrations like these with the marketing platform itself. So we've seen visibility and collaboration. Now comes the challenge of the evolving customer. Across all of these dimensions and others, the average customer profile may shift over time, and the organization itself may choose to sell to a different buyer persona, or choose to go up market, or things like that. And broadly speaking, the CMO and the marketing team are expected to be informed about all of these, and also establish a common vocabulary or a basis of communication with other GTM teams like sales and success. Right? Additionally, initiatives like customer journey planning or experience design or content creation rely on a strong understanding of the customer base, and managing this level of market complexity with an array of tools is a nightmare for even the best marketing teams out there. And that's the third challenge. I'll talk a little bit about what the platform does to help with that. It offers capabilities to segment the customer base according to a variety of criteria. It's extremely flexible that way. And each of these segments can then be independently analyzed, and plans of actions can also be developed accordingly. Right? And activities can be applied and scheduled for each segment, and the outcomes of these activities can also be tracked according to the segment. And this helps establish a shared vocabulary of understanding what the customer base within the entire marketing team, and through integrations with Salesforce automation and customer service products, and with Zoho's broader suite of applications, this helps propagate that shared understanding to other GTM functions as well. And it doesn't stop with the segment alone. Marketers can also drill down to each individual visitor, lead, or customer, and see a complete view of that person, including their full history of engagement. And this can also be customized to include other any specific dimensions that may be deemed relevant for the specific organization. In addition to that, the marketing team can augment the view of the customer by pulling in data from third-party systems like commerce, or ERP, or accounting, or sales. Right? And as you can see on the screen, the platform offers a number of native integrations already. And on top of that, Zoho offers a number of no-code, low-code, and pro-code capabilities to build on that further and take care of even niche use cases, both in the context of data alone, as well as in the context of workflows. So that brings us to the fourth problem, which is around revenue momentum, accelerating the revenue acquisition. So almost every CMO out there has to balance their priorities between building a brand and essentially enabling a revenue expectation, a particular kind of revenue momentum. From defining offerings and generating demand for these offerings to enabling the revenue and success organizations for growth, the marketing team plays a role in every stage of the customer journey. Therefore, the CMO needs to ensure that the right initiatives and projects are prioritized for the right kind of impact on revenue and growth. And they also need to ensure that there's a continuous collaboration with the revenue organization and the success organization through a feedback loop, both formal or informal. Given that CMOs are increasingly seen as being responsible for about half of the company's revenue, this challenge gets top priority, particularly during the growth phase of the organization, but even more so during other parts as well. And that's essentially the fourth challenge, which is about enabling and accelerating the growth organization. Now, by making the entire marketing automation and journey planning effort available in a single place, the platform enables teams to do everything from small incremental tweaks all the way to create new journeys altogether from a single place. And when segments or customer personas change or the organization's business model changes, it's always easy for the team to also change the engagement orchestration alongside from a single place. And given that the platform is omnichannel, these journeys can all move across a number of channels without breaking a sweat. And through an active feedback loop with the revenue organization, the marketing team can also continuously optimize all of the engagement, programmatic engagement here for higher revenue momentum as well. And the platform helps them do that by offering a number of pre-built dashboards to help the team deeply understand the nature of engagement, both with customers as well as visitors. And this enables them to refine every campaign in every channel at any time to optimize for better engagement. And it doesn't stop there. By connecting marketing data with sales and commerce data, the platform helps marketing teams see details like the average deal size or deal value, the time taken to convert specific deals and success rate against a specific competitor and things like that for each campaign or even each segment, right? And this allows them to refine everything from how the segments are defined to what content is used in the engagement orchestration to how the whole orchestration is set up in the first place. And all of this can be done in order to optimize for better revenue impact. So I'd like to quickly jump back to this slide to talk about how the platform addresses these challenges and recap what we've seen so far. The platform packs a shared view of projects, documents, and metrics to create full visibility for the marketing team. On top of that, the platform brings together a productivity suite, document and asset management capabilities, as well as synchronized business data for the marketing team to collaborate better within itself and also with adjacent functions like sales and success. The platform then creates a shared vocabulary of understanding for the marketing team and then brings all of the GTM functions onto the same page as well. And finally, the platform helps connect marketing activities to revenue outcomes and helps the team prioritize the activities that really count towards revenue and growth. It's worth quickly looking at how all of this impacts the end customer who consumes all of the marketing as well. The first benefit is certainly everything that unification brings, and that includes a consistent content experience and a stable brand voice throughout the customer's journey, as well as a seamless transition for the customer from marketing to other adjacent functions when they need personalized attention. The second benefit is the personalized engagement itself throughout their customer journey that is made possible by the vast context universe that exists both within Zoho as well as has been enriched by pulling in data from various third-party software as well. And over the course of the customer's association with the brand, the quality of the personalized engagement only keeps improving, both programmatically as well as personalized individual human attention. And this would be very hard to execute with a roster of integrated tools, even if they're all individually best of breed. And then by connecting marketing with adjacent functions like sales and success, the platform ensures that there's always an employee at arm's length for the customer when they need personalized attention at any point in time. And the customer does not even need to know what team they're working with at any point in time. And the team member, on the other hand, is also able to keep the conversation moving across various functions as well. And only a vendor who offers a unified customer experience platform across all customer-facing functions and beyond can deliver this sort of continuity. And that's one of the things that already differentiates Zoho in the market. So that's it about Zoho's Marketing Plus. It is a unified platform that helps marketing teams come together and become more impactful with respect to the rest of the organization. It starts at $25 per employee per month or equivalent in other currencies. and is available from 10th May 2022.
Thanks, Prashanth. Let's get into the demo. We will start with the tools that are inbuilt within the marketing platform, Marketing Plus platform. So the first one is the email and the SMS campaign management tool that we are bundling. And we have social media platform for drafting, scheduling, and publishing social media posts across the platform. And then we have surveys to run surveys, to collect feedback, to collect various aspects of what they are undergoing, and push it inside the CX suite as well. And then we have something called PageSense, which is a website monitoring tool to run experiments to provide personalized experience in your website using this tool. And then we have webinars, wherein you can conduct webinar, you can collect the attendees and push it inside the CRM as well. And then we have an event management platform wherein you can organize events, create agenda, bring speakers, and manage tickets using this tool. And of course, there is one more important thing, which we call it as marketing automation, where so you nurture your leads using the personalized marketing journeys. So all these things are very essential tools for the marketers. And the beauty of this platform is we are bringing all these things together. We are stitching all these tools together so that, from CMOs or from senior marketing's perspective, everything looks perfect in one place, and also it's easy for them to monitor all these activities under one umbrella. So for this demo, what we will do is we will consider a brand called Zilker Travel, a traveling agency, where they are going to launch an application for the brand. One of their senior marketing managers of Zilker plans to run a set of marketing activities for the launch. So for that, what I'll do is I'll create a project. Okay. So what I'll do is and I choose the objective as brand awareness, and then the type is something like product launch. And I'll give one of the important aspect of this project, that is the owner and who is the DRI for this entire project, and then give a launch date as May 10th or so. And here we go. Right. So from a senior marketing manager's perspective, now I have a launch, and for that I have started creating a project. Inside the project, I can start creating activities and assign them to each and every stakeholders. So if you could see here, there are so many activities that you can plan for this particular launch. If you could see here, there are tons and tons of activities piled up, and you can choose any one of them and assign to the respective people. So for this, what we will do is we will create one say email campaign to the and then what I'll do is I'll make it as email campaign. And for this, I'll just make it as launch. And for each and every activity, you can choose who is the stakeholder, who is the marketing manager responsible for this particular activity. For this, I'll choose William Stone and then click save. Here we go. A particular activity is created, and it gives me the status, and also it gives me who is the owner of it. And from from the executions perspective, if I go back to another view wherein I've logged in as William Stone, and you could see here, it says that has assigned an email campaign activity in marketing project. So you can straight away click and see what is the gist of it. So if I want, I can just go inside that and start creating a campaign to it. So I can just click on that. I can start creating the campaign. So that's how the execution things happen.
And each one is invoking different pieces of the Zoho functionality, right? So email campaigns would
exactly
trigger something, some functionality. Webinar would trigger some other functionality. It's all integrated.
Absolutely, absolutely, Vinny. So whatever the things that we already have inside our marketing tools, we are bringing everything under one umbrella, and we wanted to ensure that everything works in a cohesive way and it stitches with each other. So that's the main agenda of this the platform. So I've started creating this. So like this, I can start creating each and every activity and assign to each and every stakeholder. And just to give you an example of how the activities will look like, I've created one big list of actions. You could see here for this particular launch, I've just created email campaign, social post. So for each and everything, you could see who is created and who is the responsible person, and what is the status of each and every one of them, and what is the timeline for each and every activities. All those things are captured in this timeline. So this we call it as brand studio, where you plan things, you do the execution part of it. At the same time, you also monitor what are all the things happening around this particular launch. And on the right hand side, you could see here there is a matrix which talks about what all the activities which is going on for this particular project, and what is the status of each one of them. And in a nutshell, it gives me a clear indication of how many pending tasks are still there across various activities pertaining to this particular project. So this is the visibility that Prashanth was talking about, how to provide that greater visibility to the senior marketing managers or CMOs, where what's happening around your brand, what are all the activities which are going around. These are all fragmented in various aspects. Probably it sits in 10 different tools, and bringing all these things together is a great challenge, and that is what we are trying to achieve it here. So this one, we are talking about the visibility now. The next important part is the collaboration part. So now all these things are created, and a few people have started doing the execution part, but how do you execute them in much better way? How do you ensure that the convergence happens faster? So for that, we have project-wise discussions. So there is a discussion. It's like a feeds which goes inside like this, and you can have a at mentioning of a particular person, and you can pull in the details of what happened to your campaign activity or something like this. So you can start pulling people and asking for the status and get the things done in much faster way. This is at the project level. If you want to drill down deeper into each and every activity level, for example, I go inside a particular campaign, inside a particular activity, into a particular campaign, still I can do a conversation with those stakeholders. So I can start commenting about whether the response is good or not, or we need to have another campaign to ensure that the convergence happens much faster. So all those things can be done. So this is at the second level, where you go little deep into a particular activity. So we didn't stop there. Probably you can go a little further. And in one of the slides, Prashanth was talking about how do you create a deck collaboratively with your peers or with your marketing people. So the similar way, you can start creating your documents, which is very essential for your launch. And for that particular for the doc, you can start collaborating with people. You can start saying that, hey, you can mention people. So you can just say, hi, I'm taking care of the second part of the document, something like that. So if you go there and see as William Stone, and you could see here, all those things will be captured here. And if you go exactly into the document, and you could see here, it will tell me who are all the people doing the collaboration with this particular document. And also, so all those things, whatever Emily talked about this document, is available, right there for me as well. So such sort of collaborations are possible inside a particular document per se. And so we also bundle this, the entire document management system. We call it as Zoho Work Drive. We just sits right within our platform. For each and every project, we create a team. And for that project, you can catalog all your documents and everything pertaining to that particular launch. So all those things are part and parcel of how you can make sure that the collaboration works seamlessly at the same time. So you do the convergence in much better way. So we talked about how the visibility can be brought in. We talked about now the collaboration part. And what we will see now is how the shared view of customers are given inside this platform. So for that, I'll just switch to the CRM part of it. Okay, yeah. So for that, I'll go inside the lead and I'll just choose this random lead, which is part of my, the launch. And you could see here, this is the 360-degree view of what this particular lead is all about. And it provides me straight away the information about what are all the campaigns that he or she is part of. And for this particular case, Arun Kumar is part of this Zoho webinar campaign. And also he's participating in one of the events conducted through Zoho Backstage. And the status also it's been given. So for this, it's registered, it's yet to be checked in. Similarly, in social, what is happening around and what are all the surveys that he has captured, what are all the things that he has given the responses. If he has given any response, probably straight away you can see all these information within that platform. Okay, so all these informations are available with respect to that particular prospect or a customer. Not only that, we also offer a wonderful way of representing the views based on the roles. If you are a CMO and if you need to have a different view, which is very pertaining to how you perceive things in your way. So for that, you can have a different layout. And if you are a marketer and if you want to have a different view, you can still click on another view and you can see what are all the other things that's been laid out in the way you want to perceive it. So all these informations are available with respect to how you share the views of the customers. So that's the third part. The fourth part is the acceleration part, acceleration of the revenue part. So for that, so we do have a marketing automation tool where you nurture the leads. However, the leads comes inside through all these various channels. So you'd create a journey, probably. You can start creating the journey and nurture them based on what they really want. So these are all the predefined journey, simple follow-up, basic follow-up, so all those things, CRM-based follow-up. So you can choose one of the templates and start creating the journey so that from the marketing's perspective, you qualify them from your side. So the MQLs then pushed inside the CRM, which gets connected with this Marketing Plus platform. So with respect to the CX, we have already built in CRM integration with it. So whatever the marketing qualified leads can automatically pushed inside the CRM as leads, and that is available for the salespeople to take over. So this is another thing. And once it gets into this sales bucket, and probably once it converges as a deal and we won the deal, probably we will tend to provide the attribution back to the campaigns that they're all part of. And we have the marketing attributions as well. We have 6 types of marketing attributions wherein we start providing, giving back the ROIs for the campaigns that were run. So all those things are possible. So this is about how you create, how do you provide the visibility to the spending and to the returns that you are getting back. Apart from that, we have something called I just go inside a particular project, and I can give you details about so how the other aspects of analytics, like so how the website activities are going on. So you've been doing lots of website monitoring tools. All those things are there. So how do you ensure that whether your websites are consumed well, whether the hits are really on target or not? So for that we have homepage heat map. So Prashanth was talking about, Prashanth was showing one of the slides where it gives me a clear and clear visibility of where the hits are, all those things. This is a live website, so that's the reason why the bot comes inside. So this information is possible. And similarly, the social monitoring. So what are all the the projects that, what are all the activities that I have done with respect to my brand? If anybody is at mentioning my brand, or if anybody is retweeting the post with respect to my brand, or somebody is actually monitoring our competitors' brands, all those things can be monitored and can be viewed here. And in terms of the analytics part, this is one of the beautiest part, where all the necessary details about the measurements that we do. So what is the deal value? How many deals have come through various sources, and what are all the leads created through various sources? All those necessary details are captured. And this is actually an integration which we have done already with our own CX suite, that is our CRM platform. There is always a possibility for you, to create dashboards by pulling necessary information from any of the third-party applications. So for example, if you want to pull it from the Salesforce, the data, so we have necessary built-in APIs. They need not do any sort of coding at all. So all they have to do is they have just to choose the modules that they want to pull it inside this Marketing Plus platform, and they want to slice and dice the reports based on what data that they pull inside the platform. So that's powerful it is in terms of how you measure those actions that you have done using this Marketing Plus platform. So this gives you a glimpse of what all these things are all about. And happy to take up any questions that you have.